So, I got fired. Nice, huh? At first, I felt like I let all the people around me down, that it was all my fault and that I should have done better. But after a while, I started looking back on it all and I realized that it's something that was gonna happen either way, whether me quitting or them actually firing me. So it was simply just not the place for me, and I wish I saw that in time. I wish I saw that earlier when I was still working there and I could have done things differently. So nonetheless, it happened, and here are some things I learned from it. So the first thing I would ask you to do is ask yourself, how do you feel about your job? Do you feel like you did the best you could in trying to like it and get some value out of it and it just didn't work out? Then maybe it simply means that it's not the job for you. You two aren't meant for each other. It's not your fault or no one else's really. It's just that you two aren't fitting for each other. For example, in my case, I got hired for a job that I wasn't really looking for, but I got lured in by the salary and also I was home doing nothing. So I just wanted to see how it was and maybe learn something from it. Result is that I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I remember the first couple of days I was working there, I went to bed crying, asking myself, is this what the rest of my life is supposed to look like? Is this what being an adult means? Still, I didn't quit because I feel like I didn't want to be a failure or to be ungrateful for having a job so many people would have killed for, and also to end up home doing nothing again. So I just stayed there, and after a while I started getting used to it, and the job didn't seem that bad after all. Not that bad, huge red flag, I know. So if you're watching this video, that's already a hint that something might be off, that your unconscious mind or whatever you want to call it, that you deep down know that's not the place for you. That's not the best place for you, at least. Now, think to yourself, if you got fired right now and didn't have to worry about the money, how would you feel? If the answer is something in between relief and happiness, then there is your answer. It's time for you to leave. When I got fired, I was still on trial time. That means that they had every right to fire me. And I know that. Still, I acted as if I was already there for sure. I stopped looking for jobs, I moved closer to my workplace, I just stopped worrying about it altogether. And that was very stupid. You know why? Because even if I was there for sure, even if I was a long-time employee there, bad things can always happen. Your workplace could always go bankrupt, get bought by someone else, or all of those bad things that we always try to forget. But they can happen. So by having a backup plan, or at least, some kind of a community that could help you finding a new job, you have, first of all, a safety net in case any of the above happens. But also, you're no longer stuck there. That means that if you don't like it, you have the freedom to leave. And that freedom allows you to see clearly if you're staying in a position because you actually like it or just because you're comfortable there and it's safe. If after all of this, you're still not sure about how you feel about your job, then give it some time. Reflect on how you actually feel on most days. Not the really good ones, not the really bad ones, just the average ones. Try to see how you feel at the end of your day. Most of the times, we already know the answer. We just don't want to admit it. One thing I feel really helps me is to write down the two options, so in this case would be maybe to leave or to stay in my job, fold them and put them in a basket to draw from. Now, you pick one, but before you open it, see what you're hoping it's written on them. There is your answer. Now, I know that quitting your job or getting fired for that matters is scary. It makes you feel with no direction whatsoever, and it's an unsure situation. But sometimes getting out of the comfort zone is the best we can do, because especially if such comfort zone is feeling tight and unfitting, then it's not comfort anymore. If it doesn't feel good, it's not comfort anymore. And I am no one to tell you here what to do or how to feel, but if you're not happy in the situation you're in, if you're watching this video and you're actually listening to what I'm saying, then maybe that means that you know you're not happy there and you know you should quit. So if you do, then please, please, please try to find an alternative, which obviously doesn't mean quit your job without any money or any idea what to do next, but try to find an alternative that is actually feasible for you and could make you happier, and improve that. I'm just saying, most of our awake time is spent working, so that should be a pleasant time. We all have those bad days where you feel like, oh my god, this job is crap, or we all have those days when we're tired and would love to be on a vacation somewhere, but most days should be pleasant. If you do not come home happy somehow of the job you did on that day, then maybe it's time to change. It's time to pick something else and be happy. You can do it and you're allowed to do it. I hope this video gives you some inspiration. I hope it was helpful or comforting in some way. I would like to tell you all that we're all on the same boat, and in the end, you should do what makes you happy, and if a job is not making you happy, again, maybe it's time to find an alternative. If you like this video, please leave a comment down below. I read them all and I love to see what you think about the topics I talk about. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you all, so bye.